Yeah, right, guys, Nick is CPF boxing. Is the Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois 2 card worth it? Is it value for money, 24.99, or is someone taking the fucking piss? Good guys, Nick CPF boxing. This video is about the Usyk Dubois 2 undercard, and essentially, is it good value for money? The card is £24.99. I've just been on, I've just double checked. I know it's very expensive in the US and people are kicking off about that a bit. I'm not kicking off about it. I'm just raising, not even concerns. It's not like I'm losing sleep. I'm just raising a very valid point. It isn't value for money. It's not, I'm not sure if it is. To me, it's not value for money. So essentially, we are watching it to watch Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. No one will say they're getting the cards to watch Daniel Lapin or Lawrence Okoli or Kevin Lorena or Adam Hamid, unless it's someone that Prince Nassim Hamid might do that. Someone, related to Adam Hamid. I don't know. No one's going to get the card and not watch Usyk versus Dubois. I totally understand that is the main event. But the card's just very weak, to be honest. So you've got Usyk versus Dubois, incredible fight, the biggest boxing match of the year, probably, with the exception maybe of Crawford's, Canelo. To me, it's the most eagerly anticipated fight so far this year. Usyk's my favourite fighter, so I study him more than other boxers. I look at his team, who he trains with, who's part of his stable and all that stuff. As I try and do with other fighters I'm interested in. Fighters I'm not interested in, I'm not as bothered about who they train with. But that's the main event. So you can't say Usyk versus Dubois 2 is a boring fight. That was, before it was made, that was a fight most people were after. Or Usyk versus Joseph Parker, although Usyk said in a podcast to Cal Froch in the past couple of days, Parker didn't interest him because of the belts. He wants to go where the belts are. Hence Dubois, him giving Dubois a rematch. So $24.99, and this is a time when a lot of us are struggling with bills, energy costs, food costs, blah, blah, blah. Everything's more expensive. Even going for a pint, it's not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago, £2.53 a pint in the fucking ringside in Hull or whatever. I think it's cheaper in the ringside in Hull, but you see what I'm saying? It's a lot of money to part with, and I get people shouldn't be watching illegal streams. I won't comment on whether I have or haven't watched illegal streams. I don't really need to comment now I've said that. You probably know the answer to that. Am I spitting on boxing by doing so? Possibly, but sometimes I just can't afford to watch all the events. So I do pay to watch pay-per-view events when it's a huge one. I will pay for this, $24.99. I'm going to pay for it. We're waiting to get the deposit back on our old house because we've just moved. And obviously we're going to pay the bills and the council tax and all that shite first. But I'm putting $24.99 aside to pay for this. I'm going to sit down on Saturday, really absorb the event. We've all waited a long time. It's the big one. The main event, you can't argue with. So if you go down the card, bear in mind this is £24.99. Lawrence Okoli versus Kevin Lorena, not a bad fight. It would be a good fight on this card. However, I would argue personally there should be a bigger fight as a co-main event. Again, 2 seconds. Stay hydrated though, don't just drink coffee. I make that mistake. It's really bad. Lawrence Okoli, 21-1-0. Exciting fight. Actually, do you know what? Exciting fight at times. When he wants to be, he destroys people. When he don't want to be, he's hugging a lot of people. But he's still 21-1-0. Interesting. Kevin Lorena, 31-3-0. Kevin Lorena, smaller guy. People are saying he could crack Okoli and win the fight. So there are little storylines there. I don't mind either of the guys. I think if Okoli won, it'd be exciting. Then he'd go on to a bigger fight in the heavyweight division. The main event's a heavyweight fight. Would he be fighting Usyk or Dubois? No. I don't know who he could be fighting next. But yeah, I think on his day, Lawrence Okoli is great. Destroys people. How he fought a cruiserweight, I don't know, because he's fucking massive. That's a pretty good fight. Okay, so this is off Forbes, by the way, Forbes.com. I couldn't find the undercard anywhere, really, except for 3 of the fights. I don't know why no one's posting it. I'm hoping Forbes is right before I go on this, not a rant, it's a discussion. I'm just having a mature discussion. Daniel Lapin, 11-0-0 versus Louis Edmondson, 11-0-0. Okay, so record-wise, very intriguing. Both got the same record, both undefeated, if that's correct. I didn't realise Edmondson was undefeated, but I'm going to go with what Forbes is saying. I'm interested in that fight. It's a cool fight, but I follow Usyk's team. He trains with Daniel Lapin. Obviously, his team, I'm guessing he may be managed by Krasiuk, unless Krasiuk's walked away from them completely. So I don't mind watching him. He's a good fighter, very tall. He's a bit of a freak for the division, his height and everything. I think he'll actually go on to be a very, very good fighter. He will be a name on the lips of boxing fans. Not necessarily casuals, but He'll get a win streak together, I think. He'll get notch up a few more wins, and he'll be, if Alexander Usyk fights another couple of times, he'll be on his card. He'll sort his mate out. Nothing wrong with that. So that's an okay fight for me. But I specifically follow Usyk's team and people like Daniel Lapin. I watched 2 of his other fights. I think he's a really exciting prospect. Lewis Edmondson, who I think will get beat by Lapin. Lewis Edmondson, again, quite an exciting guy. I've only seen one of his fights, I think, so I'm not going to make, I'm an expert on him. I've seen enough, though, where I think Daniel Lapin will handle him, not just because of the huge physicality difference. I just think he'll win. Daniel Lapin's very good. He'll beat most people he comes up against, I think, in the next couple of years as he develops. Daniel Lapin, is that Sergei Lapin's son? I've read stuff online saying it's Sergei Lapin's son. That can't be possible. Sergei Lapin doesn't look that old. That's weird. But Google, the internet, reckons that Daniel Lapin is Sergei Lapin's son. Anyway, it can't be that. Not a bad fight again. Not a bad fight, Lawrence Coley. Not a bad fight, Daniel Lapin. This is the undercard, though. These are like, I'm not sure if this is a running order. Lasha Guruli versus James Francis. So Lasha Guruli, I've only heard of him 5 minutes ago. Amateur record. Oh shit, BoxRec kicked me out. Yeah, that's annoying, that. His amateur record, he's had a footload of amateur fights. He's very experienced in the amateurs. Actually, he's 1-0. He beat someone called Bernard Abbey in the Rustavi Sports Palace, which is in Georgia, I think. He could be a great fighter. He might be an exciting fighter. He's a super lightweight fighter, 5'10", Farrelly, Georgia. He's from Georgia. He may be put on this card because he's one to watch. He's 28, so he's not an old man or anything. I don't know. And do you know what? I don't mind being introduced to new fighters at all. Am I intrigued? Yes. Am I £24.99 intrigued? No, I'm a fuck. When he's fighting, I was going to say excuse the language, but we're all adults, aren't we? If you don't like it, just don't fucking watch. I know it's the lowest form of weight and all that, and Will Smith don't like it, but whatever. It's also, we express ourselves by swearing. So I could say this card's a bit of a rip-off, but I could say it's a bit of a fucking rip-off. And it just sounds a bit sexier. Right, he's fighting James Francis, who's 7-1-0. I've never heard of James Francis again. Like I've said before, I've been watching UFC religiously for 20 years, and I've been watching quite a bit of boxing, but up until Turkey came and started cheesing money all over everyone, I wasn't watching loads of it. All I am now, I love it, it's great. It's fantastic, innit? We love it. We love talking about it. Hence these YouTube channels with dudes like me going on about it. I've not heard of James Francis anyway, so the point I'm making before I digress, because I've not really planned the video, just someone left a comment on my video, and I appreciate his comment. I forgot the name, it was a series of numbers like 1401 or something commented. I feel like I've been scammed, and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I actually, when I look at the card, definitely for the casual, if the casuals kick off log, then I'm totally in the corner, I can see where they're coming from. Even with people that make a concerted effort to watch boxing, it's hard to justify some of it. So the next one, this is another one, right? So bearing in mind, £24.99, pay-per-view card, Usyk versus Dubois. It may be the first fight, so it may not matter. But Adam Hamed, who's 5-0, versus Ezekiel Gregorish, who's 24-0. So again, it'll probably be the first fight. It doesn't really matter. With these ones, I'll watch every single fight because I'm paying $24.99. If it's one that I don't watch the whole event, I'm not bothered about missing the first 1 or 2 fights because obviously you want to support up-and-coming boxers or whatever, but sometimes life intervenes. You just can't watch every event. You can't watch every boxing, BKFC, UFC, Power Slab, fucking PFL, and then have time to have a KFC on a Saturday evening. Do you know what I mean? You can't just do it all. So sometimes I don't watch the whole. I'll miss off a fight or 2. And also, like, if you're in the company of someone who don't like it. Mrs. likes boxing, but sometimes she's like, fucking hell. Like, it's 5-6 hours of boxing, really. But she will be watching this because we're fans of Usyk. But even then, like, Adam Hamed, up-and-comer, exciting. I've got him on BoxRec as well. Nice BoxRec's going to ask me for my Google thing again. Where is it? Yeah, 5-0, 3 knockouts, 60% knockout rate. And I'm pretty sure he's related to Prince Nassim Hamed. And then he's a princess then. That's mildly interesting, but I've seen him fight before, and he's good. He's an up-and-coming fighter. But again, am I that bothered? To be honest, if it's the first fight on the card, if it's on the main card or something, I'm not having that. All respect to him, best of luck in his career, and he looks really good. But Usyk Dubois 2, the main card should be Usyk Dubois. Huge fight. It should be another huge fight as a co-main event. Bear in mind, it'll be 96,000 people at Wembley, and everyone's paying 25 quid. Do you know what? Now I've mentioned that, if you are someone going to Wembley and you're watching this video, I don't get many views, but if you're someone who's watching, you're like, I'm actually going to Wembley, it probably will be worth. Give me your thoughts on how much the ticket was, and if you think the price of the ticket's been reciprocated in what fights are on the card. But I'm gonna like go from the point of view of someone of many people who are buying a pay-per-view this weekend. Do you know what? Because I'm not streaming this one. It's Usyk. He's my favourite, arguably my favourite combat sports athlete of all time. Maybe he's probably up there with Anderson Silva. I'm very fond of Chael Sonnen. People laugh at that, but I used to love Chael Sonnen. Adam Hamid versus Ezekiel Grigorish from what's he from? Yeah, Boxer. It's just not having it. Might be my VPN thing or something. But his record, it's not the best record. So he's a journeyman, obviously. Those are the fights that we've got so far. Bear in mind, we've got a week to go to the event. Like 6 days, pretty much. Those are the fights that, if Forbes is correct, which I'm assuming it is, because why would it spell those names? We've got 5 fights on the card. No, we haven't. I forgot one. I actually did a video about it, so that's really dumb. So another fight we've got, which I think will be quite high up on the main card, is Vladislav Serenko, Ukrainian heavyweight, 22-0-0 versus Solomon Dakers, 9-1-0. So I'm quite excited for this fight. I was really excited for Serenko versus Nowitzki because they're both obviously up-and-comers. I don't know what's happened with Nowitzki. Solomon Dakers, I've only seen a couple of his fights. I'm happy to watch it. I'm quite excited, but mainly for Serenko, to be honest, because I know you could say, oh, you're British, you got to support the British guy. Sometimes I do, but I don't always. If there's a guy who I just prefer his fighting style more and he's more exciting, I'm not really bothered where he's from. The Tom Aspinall, it's cool that he's British, I'm British. There's a bit of Tom Aspinall in the UFC, like he's a British guy. It'd be great for him to win the heavyweight championship, which he has. But in this one, I was looking forward to Serenko versus Nowitzki. Solomon Dakers is coming in. That could be an exciting fight, but I've got a feeling if Dakers is very defensive and he's using his range a lot and he's trying to keep Serenko off him and get a points win. Not saying he's going to do that, but he could do. It might not be the best fight. I personally think Serenko will work his way on the inside and just destroy him with like body punches, a combination of body, head. He's got a good uppercut as well, apparently. I think Serenko will get in there in the first 4 or 5 rounds and then finish him, to be honest. But again, it's okay. It depends on the placement of these fights on the card. But that's the card, basically. Am I impressed so far? There could still be a special announcement, or have I been naive in thinking that? I've been naive in thinking they'll throw someone on last minute. I don't know. It can happen in boxing. Look at Okoli versus Parker. That was a very last minute thing. Someone could drop out the Okoli, Lorena fighting. If Derek Chisora, someone could be like, fuck it. Sort me out some 5 guys, I'll come and beat someone up or get beaten up and provide some entertainment. So yeah, so far, I'm definitely going to buy it, so I'm a hypocrite. But it's not like I'm not taking a stance against it or anything. I'm not getting my placard out and storming local city hall. I'm just saying I will buy it, I will support it. It's a huge fight that we'll all remember for years. You know, in a few years, you'll say, where were you when Usyk fought Dubois? And hopefully Usyk won. But if he loses it, he's losing to a good guy in Dubois. And people will remember, same as when, if you say, where were you when Joshua fought Klitschko? As a Brit especially, a lot of people know where they were and where they watched it. So yeah, is it worth $24.99? No, in my opinion, it's not at the moment. I don't know what may happen. I don't know what may be announced, but it is not worth it. £24.99. I'm very surprised, to be honest. I really thought they'd stack this card, and I'm pretty sure it's a Riyadh season card, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. But there are other cards that are coming into fruition in the boxing world that already look better than this one. It may have been too soon to put Itama and Dillian White on this card. The other names, could they have not got a Caballel? I don't know. Has he got a fight lined up? Zile Zhang? Or is he training? There's a lot of training videos of him at the moment. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe people just weren't available, but I'm not sure. For me, it's value for money. If the event, every fight is incredible, then I'll say, do you know what? I didn't know many of them, but it was a really fucking awesome night of fights. But on paper, I'm not too fussed about it. Adam Hamid, I'm hoping he's one of the first fights on. Usyk Dubois, Okoli Lorena will be the last 2 fights. But then there's a bit of grey matter, and you're who? I guess Serenko, Dickers, then Lapin, Edmondson. I don't know. See what else they had. Anyway, let us know your thoughts. Again, it's not I'm not trying to be vitriolic or anything. It's just, I was just thinking earlier, someone posted a comment. I think I was subconsciously trying to put a positive spin on all the fights, but I have to be real and just say it's not value for money as it stands. The presentation and the commentators and the graphics and all that's great, but you want to see good fights. And the fights really at the moment aren't great. And like I say, someone left a comment on my video saying they feel like they've been scammed. And at first I thought, is that a bit dramatic? And I thought, no, it's not actually. They're 100% right, because we'll be paying a lot of money. And it is a lot of money for a sporting event, especially when you're already, like myself, have a subscription with DAZN, you're then paying that on top of it. So let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, the usual stuff. Am I being too harsh? Am I being reasonable? Is it value for money? Is Usyk versus Dubois on its own worth $24.99? Possibly, but I'm just saying the rest of the card, there could be some better names on there, or just some better fights. But that's just my opinion. Like you said, opinions like arseholes, we've all got one. Hope you enjoy your Sunday. I've had a nice day so far. I'm a bit rosy because I did go in the garden and did a few rounds on the bag. It's boiling hot. I did like 6 2-minute rounds, and I was struggling doing that, to be honest. I'm tired. I've had a busy week, as we all had. We've all had, trying to pay our bills and all that stuff. But it's all good. Tomorrow's start of a new week. I can get that sorted out because it's just getting out of hand. I need to shave my head again because it's getting long for me. Anyway, Nick with CPF Boxing. Thanks for watching as always. So also, if you need a good film to watch, I might get rinsed for this, but check out Karate Kid Legends. I watched it the other day. If you remember the original ones, which I do, it's a fun film. It's very daft and there are holes in it that you can pick, but if you just take it for what it is, a bit of fun, get popcorn out, it's quite a good film. So Karate Kid Legends. I'm looking forward to it. I know you did last summer. I'm going to go see that, not this week, the following week, I think. See if Mrs. wants to go see it. I love my movies as well, not just boxing. I do like a movie. So if you want a movie to watch, check out Karate Kid Legends, especially if you remember the originals and all the nods to all the nostalgia fucking stuff. You know, you'll enjoy it, I think.